All right, we are live, and I'm here with my guest Sharia. Are you like super excited?
I am.
Awesome. So I know today we're going to come live in intuitive angel messages, and we're talking about our spiritual awakenings. And a friend of mine said to me the other day, spiritual awakening doesn't just happen and it's just, that's it. You're spiritually awake. That's it. You're awake, everybody. Like one shot deal. Like, oh, here I am. I've awakened. Now what? Spiritual spiritual awakening is like a process. And how do you know you're having a spiritual awakening? So I'm going to say how I knew I was having a spiritual awakening, and then you can go and tell me how you knew. For me, it's having a spiritual awakening is when something happens different than out of the norm that is really catching your attention. It can be something with energy. It can be something that's happening with your vessel that's maybe out of the norm with energy, or an energy presents itself outside of you. Or a lot of people talk about having a Kundalini awakening, a lot of energy up their root chakra. You could have, you're meditating and all of a sudden you can hear your guardian angel speaking with you. You can be strongly guided in a certain situation. You can see temporarily, maybe through the veil, that catches your attention. So it's just something that's out of the norm that gets your attention. And then spiritual awakening is like a journey that really goes on for the rest of your life. Sometimes it happens really fast and explosive, and sometimes it wink, wink. And sometimes it happens like it'll get your attention and you're in awe about it, but then it kind of drops off and it's kind of like a slow journey that progresses throughout your lifetime. And I think also a lot of it plays out with, how much stress is in your life. Are you out binge drinking and having fun and partying all the time? And maybe it's not the right time for it to continuously progress. So you have to wait until certain things shift energetically in your life, and you let go of certain things in order to bring about more of this awakening when you're ready. So sometimes it's almost like you kind of hang back and you just kind of say, well, now what? So how would you describe a spiritual awakening from your own experience?
Well, like I was okay, it does that every now and then.
Yeah, a little for you.
So like the first thing I remember was like that really caught my eye was like two white butterflies. Everywhere I went, two white butterflies. Everywhere. And then, I was just I think fear propelled me into it because like I was scared of dying.
Oh,
So I started looking into near-death experiences to kind of, I don't know, get some understanding, I guess, spiritually about it. And then like I was drawn to just certain material, like Dolores Cannon, and then I found you. And then pretty soon I could just feel the energy around me. And you were like, this is how you open up to your angels. And like all my chakras just opened at one time, fully opened, and I could see things, hear things, lots of energy, lots of visions. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And then, once I'm feeling all this energy like in my face and just like all over, I mean, you just have questions and you can't ignore it. It's like there in your face. So that, for me, it was, at least I couldn't turn it off.
yeah.
So,
Well, and that's also really important in that, if it's too much, if it's too intense, it's really important to speak with your team and say, this is too much. It needs to step back, please. Just step back.
yeah.
So that you don't have headaches or migraines or other ascension symptoms, or if it's just too much for you, it's important to set your own boundaries. I don't think we quite realize that we can do this, or that we are this powerful. We are powerful beings of light and love, and that we can set these boundaries, and to know that you can is really important. And you can communicate with them, and you can set certain expectations of what you would like to see, and they may have their feedback too, of course, and you can compromise, and you can communicate. It's really important to do that. It's really important to do that. And uh, Twyla wants you to know, go Ducks. LOL.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so that's the team you guys are totally, yeah, but yeah, I think you're both in Oregon, I believe. So that's pretty cool.
That's my hometown, and now I'm in Indiana, but
Oh,
I'm still Oregonian at heart.
Oh, I love it. So close to where I live. I love that. And yeah, and Ashley's in Oregon too.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, Ashley, she lives in Eugene, just like where you live. You should meet up for coffee or something. Never mind, Ashley. Never mind. Let's backtrack that.
Maybe this summer when I go visit.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Message her, and that you guys can meet up. That'd be super cool. So like with my awakening, it was pretty full on. My angel opened up in front of me. I didn't know what was happening. I'd been bawling my eyes out for 45 minutes. And then my angel opened up about 12 feet in front of me, 10, 12 feet. And then slowly, like we're talking this slow. It was like seconds went by. And I'm like, wow. And then passed right through my body and out the back of me. And so it just went, my emotional state went from despair to bliss out of my mind, and so filled with so much love. Shifted my frequency entirely, but also showed how much she loved me as well. And I also felt just how incredible of a being of light and love she was. It was, there are no words that can describe that. So that got my attention. Took me about 45 minutes to go tell my mom. And then I saw a deck of angel cards at Costco. And I said, oh my God, I got to get this, because this might be the only way I can communicate with them. And at that point, I always sense them around me. You know, when you don't know what you don't know, and you have the pyramid effect, and you just go through life like this, but then something catches your attention, and then you sense that energy around you, that frequency, and you know you're not alone. And that never turns off. It's always there. It's really awesome. You're always loved and supported. And so after that, there was a little bit of this and a little bit of ooh, and then I had to basically get things in a certain direction where self-care, self-love were top priority in my life. And then I was ready for the next steps. And it was just a series of events that needed to take place. Plus, my health was not too great at times. So having, a couple surgeries under my belt, I feel a lot better now with ulcerative colitis. And so now I have the energy. Now I am ready for the next step. So when you say, why me? Why isn't this happening for me yet? There are a series of divine timing steps that need to take place. So if this is happening, it's happening for a reason. And you definitely want to question that. Why is this happening to me? And what is getting my attention? And then it progresses on from there, even more so. So are you finding, like with you opened, and then it was a bit too much, and then it's kind of toned back a bit for your comfort?
I forgot to mention, before my team really came like full on with me, I think what I had, because you can not be enlightened, but have an enlightenment experience.
Totally.
And I had that for about 4 days, where I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm one with everything, and like the trees and the birds, and like I was like so in love with like every person and everything. And then I fell from that, and that was really hard to go from like blissed out and like I've won to like 3D. And then I think I had what you had, but like I didn't see my angel because like I was in bed and I couldn't go to sleep because I felt all this energy. And like on the far side of the room, I could feel just immense love come to me. And I think like the following night is when I saw Jophiel's, like, I don't know if you want to call it like an orb, but it was like the size of a dinner plate. And that's like all I could really see was that, and like you talk about like the glitter trails. But what was your question before that?
Just like you really opened and then it kind of came back and toned down a little bit for you for your comfort.
Yeah, I was having a lot of like visual stuff, and like I won't go into detail, but I don't know if I was seeing like ancestral like stuff, and it just freaked me out because I didn't understand like what I was seeing. But yeah, like I saw a few things, and then like everything just kind of went. I was like still sensing the energy, but like if I heard anything, it was like one word.
Yeah.
And other than that, yeah.
I would read on a teleprompter. They would put a teleprompter up for me and I'd be like reading word for years like that. And then I just remember Jesus coming along and opening my crown chakra and just opening, expanding. I said, "What are you doing that for?" And he said, "So that you can receive more information. So you can receive more energy and more communication, clear guidance." And I was like, sweet. And boy, did I ever. I was seeing the angels doing hand gestures, like, "We're bored, talk to us more often over here. This is money. Perfect, great. Thank you, tipping the hat off. Thank you. This is correct. This is correct." They'll give me thumbs up like that, or "We're done talking about this topic." So it was really like, what is happening? We're doing sign language now.
Yeah, that's
one way of communicating.
That's cool.
So I got good at sign language. You know, with technology, a question here from Jane is technology, did that play a role in your awakening, limiting social media and TV? For me, there was a stage where I went into kind of a hermit type phase where I was on YouTube all the time, just absorbing knowledge. And it was like I was being steered on what to watch and what to read. So for me, it was like, oh, I needed YouTube and certain reading material. That's what I needed. But now I'm being guided to stay offline as much more so. So how about you? Did you get guided to stay offline or online or reading material?
I got guided to anything and everything that like was high vibrational. Yeah. Lots of like meditations, lots of Eckhart Tolle, your stuff.
Love Eckhart Tolle too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, the first time that I channeled Archangel Jophiel was when we were working in the Mediumship for Beginners online course. And you're like, I swear I have Jophiel here. And I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
And then Elohim came through and we just got some answers for you. I was like, whoa, was that a lot of energy or what? I was like, I'll have a little lie down after that one because they are very large, expansive energies, very strong. And it was really cool to channel them for you. And the coloring I was seeing and a lot of the description of what I was seeing was matching what you were seeing and feeling and experiencing. I thought that was just brilliant.
Yeah.
Really cool. And so when you had your spiritual awakening, which is continuing, it's not just like it pops off once and then I'm awake, people. It's a progression. It kind of opens and furthers you. And sometimes you might just hang back for a little bit. Maybe you're not ready to move to the next step, but then you get back on the wagon and you do go to the next step when you're ready. So what made you feel like you were ready to start the Mediumship for Beginners course with me in January? Like, what part of you said, yeah, I have to go and check this out?
Honestly, like whenever I asked who was on my team because I'd watched your video, I just heard Elohim and like I had kept trying to like find information. And after I channeled them by myself and felt like that intense energy, there was just this drive to just find out
Learn more.
what this energy, and I couldn't turn it off and it just kept flowing. And finally I just got like that kick, like I was thinking about the course and then you're like, oh, I'm offering it again. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a sign.
I'm like, I'm doing it. Well, and you know, I've had over, it's crazy for me to say this, but I've had over 900 readings now. And that's over like a span of 2.5 years. But I've never seen the Elohim come through. Is that just wild? So when I'm in the course and I'm working with you and I'm practicing with you and the Elohim came through, I was like, oh, wow. And it was fascinating the way they looked, and their energy was interesting and it was very strong. And then we channeled them one other time, but they kind of hung back more for me so that it wasn't just because when you're in this vibrational frequency and you have this extremely expansive high vibrational frequency coming to communicate with you, you know, you can hang on for a certain period of time, and then you get a little tired. So it was nice of them to step back the second time for me. So here's a question. Some say that crystals do not hold any energy, but I'm in the middle. When you hold a crystal in your hand, all you have to do is close your eyes and relax your mind, and you will feel the energy of the crystal come down your wrist, down your arm, down through your elbow, and up through, even as far up into my shoulder. And I've got a video up on my YouTube channel right now under Kristen Davies called Crystals. What crystals the angels are suggesting that you use and how to sense the energy in the crystal. So you bet there's energy in that crystal. However, you can drain it too. You can drain it pretty good. They help with grounding when you're about to go live on camera.
I was like, I got these babies ready.
Yeah, right on the root chakra. Well, yeah, you know, I remember the angel saying to me, place the rose quartz on your lap. And I was like, why would I do that? You know? But it really does work wonders to ground you and open your root chakra. It clears out any density in those lower 3 chakras. It's just brilliant. If you don't have a rose quartz, they also suggest clear quartz or amethyst, but rose quartz is my favorite. It's very high vibrational. So, yeah, that's what I did. I put that rose quartz on my lap. It made me feel up. Is that clear quartz you have over there?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Is that clear?
Rose quartz.
Oh, rose quartz. Okay,
yeah, because you recommended it, and yeah. I got that for Valentine's Day.
Oh, what a beautiful gift! Yeah. Oh, you know you will. I love it. Oh my goodness, spoiling you rotten, just the way. So when you were in the mediumship for beginners course, and we started off the way that we were going, were you feeling a little bit nervous to kind of step forward at first? And then I did notice, like, near the end, you, Tanya, many of you were just off to the races, having a great time practicing with myself and with other mediums and with each other. It was pretty awesome. You guys, you were the second person to go live, I think, but you were the first person to go live on your own. It was awesome.
I don't know. I wasn't nervous about it. No, it's like exciting and I love it. And I'm still like going live on Ursula's Songs of Light like every week.
That's great. And that's great because, you know, leading into March, you'll have even more practice under your belt. And I've always said, you know, it's not about getting it right or wrong. It's about the practice. The practice is the key. And then, of course, you know, you can tune in with the other mediums to see what they're getting as well and see what everybody's getting and compare it to what you're getting. Is really amazing, whether you come live or not. So the next Mediumship for Beginner course is coming March 15th to the 30th. And I'm really happy that you and Tanya are going to be coming back as well. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to do a lot more practicing, and we're going to open and expand even more so into this next one and learn even more. So I'm really pumped about it. It's coming up really soon. Oh, Alana says she loves watching you. And Jane's, oh yes, and Jane's coming in too. Yay. Oh, and Tanya's saying can't wait. I love it.
And that first time I went live, I meant to say, like, Emmanuel was like the one pushing me to do it. No, do it, girl. Just do it. Just do it. I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna do it. Oh my gosh, you better read it. I'm just gonna do it.
And then you're like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. You know, the fear lasts like 2 minutes, and then it's just like fun. Then it's just like, and then you can't get enough of it, and you just want to step forward. And I just feel like, you know, with the amount of emails and messages I get every month, it's very indicative to me that it's really helping a lot of people in ways that you can't imagine. And I mean, they help me all the time, but when I can bring it through and help many people, it's awesome. It's awesome. And I always say, like, if something that's being said really resonates with you, it is for you. It's so for you. It's being said to another person, but it's so for you. Oh, awesome. Emma's coming too. Awesome. Woohoo. Yeah. Oh, Jane says, let's get the show on the road, Shariah's Angels.
Oh, you didn't know what happened. So
No, what happened?
Jane and I go live every Wednesday, and she got in a bike accident. Well, 2 hours before we were supposed to go live, I didn't know, but 2 hours before, she's like, before she told me, Emmanuel came to me, and he was all dressed up in a white button-up shirt, black slacks, and he was looking at his cufflinks, and he was like, let's get the show on the road. And he was looking at me like this. I thought he was just pumping me to go live, but then she told me like 2 hours later, I was in this really bad bike accident and I have a concussion and I can't go live with you today. And I was like, that's what he was wanting me to go live.
Like, let's go. Oh my goodness. You know, there's times where my angels come and told me things and I'm like, what? Like, you're gonna have a falling out with this person. I'm like, no.
Oh, really?
Like, no way. Like, there's just no way. And then 2 days later, yeah way. And just let me know ahead of time to prepare me for what's to come, or, you know, they let me know if there's going to be an issue coming up, which I really appreciate. My Nana also comes in and tells me as well, and I really appreciate that too. She's so feisty. My Nana, what a little, she's something else. Good. That's awesome. You know, I'm always one that says, like, if you can't stop thinking about it and you feel a pull towards it, watch that YouTube video, come and join that course, or, you know, sign up for this event or whatever it is. Just do it if you feel pulled and guided towards it. And so many people felt that way. They just couldn't stop thinking about it, or they were feeling strongly pulled towards it. And so it's coming up March 15th to the 30th. It's only $125, which is, if you look around, you know, other courses are being taught, and some of them are brilliant mediums. They really are. How much time are you going to have spent with them? That's the question. And how long is the course going to be for? And I love that Gloria Rice and Ashley Cunningham are going to come back and help me again, because it's a team effort. Big time. Oh, yeah. In body and in spirit. And so I'm so happy that they're coming back, because, you know, it's a lot. There's a lot. And there's a lot of energy and time spent. And there are ways that the angels are communicating with us that I think a lot of people aren't aware of. Your loved ones, guardian angels, spirit guides, ascended masters. And so when you learn how they're communicating with you, then you can start to communicate with them. And this is what I've learned over the past 15 years. So it's awesome that I get to bring this to the forefront to help everyone figure that out. Oh yes, and then laughter. Yeah, Alanis has amazing value. It really is. I think so too. But it's really important to help as many people connect with their team as possible, because I really do feel strongly enough to move in this direction where you can help so many people learn how to communicate with their teams. That's just so, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not the most, I personally think it's the most important thing that one can learn in their lifetime. I mean, how important is it? It's like, oh, I get to connect with this high vibrational frequency that can help me with anything and everything. It's not such a broader perspective, too.
That's why I wanted to join the course, was for that. I'm like, that's so valuable,
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to connect with them and have that guidance?
And they can help you with all sorts of things. I mean, there's endless. It really is endless. And you can go ask a friend for guidance and they'll give you their perspective. But the guidance you get from the angels is different. It's much more of a broad perspective, and they never tell you what to do, but they give you options. Or if it is really a intense moment, there are moments where my guardian angel has said, you know, stay offline, go lay down and sleep. She'll be a little bit more direct like that. I'm like, okay, Agnes, all right. All right. Oh, fascinating. That's, yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, Jane, lots of rest. Lots. Especially you want to rest as much as you can with a concussion. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it. They're saying that Anya has a lot of humor. Does she ever? She has a ton of humor. That's just it. It's so much fun connecting with each other in this space, in this course, just to have fun with each other. And it's so high vibrational. And you get to meet all these other light workers or people that are wanting to open their abilities and learn more. And you have made a lot of friends, and everybody here is like, they're all like the same people for the course, and I love it. And they're all cheering you on. Isn't that just awesome?
Yeah.
Talk about feeling supported. I love it. The course isn't about being a medium. P.S. We're all a medium because we all channel all the time, anyways.
Yeah.
Like, what are some of the times where you channel during the day? Like, how do you just pick up on even the most subtle of channeled messages that come to you?
It wasn't until after well, it might have been right after the course ended, and like I had like a shift in my frequency, because I went from like all this negative talk to all of a sudden I was hearing like, you have a beautiful soul. And I was like, that's not like, I don't do that. I don't ask myself that. So then I'm like,
The angels do.
okay, so how often have I been hearing things and just not paying attention? Or like when I did the reading and I picked up Archangel Michael's card and I was like, dude, check out his biceps. And later on, you're like, he makes that joke like all the time. And I'm like, so that wasn't my thought. Like, it's hard to tell sometimes if it's your thought or something else.
It's important to be with others that can help you with that confirmation and that belief that what you are receiving is accurate. And the self-doubt kind of fades away over time. And been through it myself, and it just gets to a point where it becomes clearer and clearer the more you practice, and self-doubt goes away, and then it's just, that's what it is. It becomes not just your internal thought forms with your own internal voice forming words that you aren't the one forming into sentences that are being formed from an outside energy, that then you tune into their frequency more and more as you practice, and it becomes their pitch and tone of voice. And we can all do this, every one of us. Now, coming into the course, it's not about, oh, I'm going to be a medium. It's about, right? Here we go. Oh man, I didn't even want to do it. I was like, what? What? You want me to do a YouTube? What are you talking about? Can I think about it? I'm like, you want me to do what? And I was like, well, you've been asking for 12 years. So you better listen, because they're just going to keep pestering you. This is a path you've been asking, and now it's time. Divine timing. This is the time. Okay. So it's just about connecting with your team in order to receive guidance to help better support you and help you and guide you in life.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And to have fun and enjoy the ride. That's the second
Yeah.
part. Yeah. Because if life is about having fun, I say. That's my motto. That's why I came here. And earlier days, I had a little too much fun. But I have a different kind of fun now. Am I right?
Yep.
Yep. That was the naughty time fun, and now it's I'm just messing. It's whatever you want it to be. So you can come in and just connect with other like-minded people and have fun. That's the main goal. And enjoy yourself and learn how to use angel cards and connect with high vibrational frequencies. Oh, yes. And there's a few tips and tricks that I've learned over the years that I brought to you guys, and you're like, what the? Oh, I didn't know you could do that. And I'm like, I didn't know either until I was schooled by my teacher, Agnes. She does. I don't think she wants me to see her as my teacher, but she is definitely my guardian angel who helps me thoroughly throughout this lifetime. Good. Oh, Jane, your team's forcing you to rest. They do it with me too. That's good. And you want to make sure you're rested before March 15th, Jane, because we'll be needing you big time in the course. Oh, yes. Yes, I agree. So yes, like Alana was saying, sometimes the energy comes in big waves and then sometimes smaller waves. And I pick up on that too. So that would tell me, oh, I have an ascended master, I have an archangel versus my guardian angel. Unless she's really alerting me and trying to get my attention, then she'll expand really big, but that rarely happens. So, but you definitely know when one wants to communicate with you because the pressure on your vessel and the warmth or the cool energy. I see that you've frozen up. Okay, are you still there?
I can see you and me.
Okay. Oh, there it goes. It's just there it goes.
Okay.
Alana says the course is playtime, inner child, letting loose in imagination, freedom, joy. Pretty much. I think she summed it up pretty good right there. Oh, I love it.
When Jane was talking about like no longer like feeling isolated and everything, like that was another thing I think that really pushed me to join the mediumship course was because I don't have anybody around me going through this.
Oh, I didn't either. I know
Yeah.
that.
So it was really cool to be able to join and make friends and like, message each other like, oh my gosh, this happened last night. And, I don't know, it's really good outlet for that.
I think so too. And I think it's great to come and meet new people, connect, not feel so isolated. That's one of the main reasons why I started this course because I went through like pretty much probably a good 12 years like that. And
Oh gosh.
it was back then the energy was slower. I grew up in another area and nobody was doing this or interested in this. I had no one. My mom would listen to me and that was great, but other than that it was kind of like I'm on my own. So connecting with other like-minded souls is just so important. It's also important for me too because I learn a lot from you guys too. Like I grow when I'm offering these courses too. I love it. I love it. Love it, Christina. Yeah, connecting with others is so powerful. Just amazing energy is another thing that I'm reading here too. Yeah, Christina said she learned a lot. Yeah, it's probably like, that's a lot of information. And now it's about practicing it. And of course, you guys will walk away with the course material so that you can actually rewatch it and practice more and more and more. And reminder, which is also really important too, ebook and video material. So, What are some of the changes that have taken place within you or around you since taking the course? Like, what has happened with you?
So I wrote it down because there's been a lot. But like, you know, since like, for instance, like joining like Ursula's Songs of Light and just continuing the practice, it seems like every time I go on live now, something's further expanded with my channels. Like now, not only am I getting the card pull, but I'm not looking at the book. Sometimes I'll have visions before I pull the card or after I pull the card, and in addition to having that card, and then I'm also receiving a guided message with all that other stuff, which it's just more information, more of a message that I'm able to pass on. So that's huge to me. And then, let's see. Oh, like now I'm also feeling like what other people are feeling in their body, like energetically, like I'll feel the connection or the scattered thoughts or the self-doubt, which is really interesting. Um, Also, you already know that my guardian angel came to me and let me see what he looked like.
Yeah.
That was really big.
Big.
And I saw Jophiel sitting on my chair. You knew about that.
Yeah.
Like, not in my mind's eye, actually sitting there.
In front of you.
Yeah. And then you knew about Archangel Raphael coming and, like, kind of aggressively opening my upper channels. That was really intense.
Yeah. And you know, you get it bit by bit because it can be pretty overwhelming. So, like if your channels are opening too fast or it's too much, you can ask them to step back and ease it back a bit, but they're not going to come in and overwhelm you. You're not going to just be like, oh, here's my guardian angel talking off to my right, because it would overwhelm you. So it's a gradual process, it's a step by step progression. And so now you're noticing the more you're practicing, the more you're going live, even the more open you're becoming. I really notice that too. The more I go live on camera, the more I expand, the more information comes in, the more my channels open. It just works wonders. It really does. Now I know not everybody would like to go live and some would like to hang back and watch more, and that's okay too. You'll just get a whole bunch of mini free readings throughout the whole course as others practice on you. So it's like a win-win-win, really.
Something out of it, but yeah, if you go live, you will definitely grow quicker.
Yeah.
And you know, I wanted to say that also Jophiel came to me last Wednesday after my reading session, like before I went to bed. He came to me and he was like, "We need to open your channels a little bit more." But he's like, "It won't be like the last time."
Yeah.
He's like, "Just breathe and like it's gonna be okay." And it was like 5-10 minutes, and it just felt like white light and like a waterfall running through me, but it was not as intense for sure. But that's kind of what's been happening to me since the course.
They still open my channels.
Yeah.
It comes down from the top and it comes in between this light highway that they build between your third eye and your pineal gland. And they just build this light and they just open and expand that, and it washes down my back, down my spine. So they open it up through my crown chakra and then it flows down. And they'll do that for about 5 or 10 minutes. And it's just helping to keep everything open. Boy, it works wonders in receiving information from them. It's like a light highway. It's a light highway radio station. Mm-hmm.
Before I forget, because you already knew this, but the other people don't. But like the Elohim came. Like I was trying to channel Archangel Michael, and he's like, "The Elohim are here," and I'm like, "Oh my God!" And one of them stepped forward, and it was a female.
Right.
And she told me her name, and she's like, "I want to help you transmute," because I had been asking for help. And I said, "Okay." And so she stepped forward, and I was just like, wow, she's just so loving. Like, I just felt so much love. I can't even describe it. And I felt her pulling energy off me for hours and into the next day. And I was just thinking in my head, the Elohim are just so loving. And I said, and she's just so like heart centered. And in my head, I heard her voice and she said, "You got that one." And her voice, but she hasn't shown herself to me, but I heard her voice. "You got that one." So that was cool.
I find the Elohim is a little bit more direct. Punchy, straight to the point, which I personally really like. and the beautiful thing is that we can call on and hey, I'd like to have that all vacuumed. Thank you. If there's anything that needs to be cleansed, thank you. And the things that we learn about the chakras too in the course is really fascinating too. A lot of you guys didn't know a lot of that stuff, which is fascinating. And then a lot of shifts happen energetically when you take the course. So you will find that a lot of the heaviness starts to get taken from you. A lot of your channels begin to open. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, Shane made it. Woohoo!
Yeah. Oh man, his angels would not leave me alone during the last reading. I've never had that experience though. Like,
no, I have.
Shane's they were like relentless. And I thought it was my thought about YouTube. I'm like, dude, YouTube channel. Like they wouldn't. And like, I went to read the next person and they're like, you didn't finish telling him like what he needed to know. And so I had to like stop and like retell him. And then even after like the whole reading, they're like, you didn't tell him everything. You need to tell him this. So like I had to like go back and then they left me alone, but it was like crazy.
I find the pressure on me, so I know that they have more to say. So then I will keep going until they back off of me.
Whoops.
Get away, then I can relax. Or they'll like get my attention. We have something more to say, but it's usually a pressure. Like we're still here and we're still talking. Pressure. So wait for that to pull back, and then when Shane's angels are done.
Yeah, they were like, no, like I think they really wanted him to like not keep putting it on the back burner. So it was really important that he like got everything that needed to be said.
YouTube channel came out when I channeled for Shane too. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay, so one question here is, should you repeat the course? You're feeling tired after work. And so go with your internal guidance system. If it's a pullback and you're feeling like you're just too tired, then maybe it's not the best time. But then you'll wait for a time that hopefully it is a good time where you're not working too much. Of course, the course is taken around your own schedule and your own time zone. So you can participate as best as you can worldwide and around your own schedule. You can catch up on material that you've missed, and then you'll have the bulk of the course material emailed to you afterwards. So it's pretty awesome, but definitely follow your internal guidance system. Okay. So many comments. Oh, good, Shane. Shane, what we talked about in the last live with Ganesh is that with all this energy coming in right now, all that stuff is coming up to the surface. It can make us have low vibrational thoughts or worrisome thoughts or anxiety, all that good stuff. It's really important to recognize what that is. Oh, it's the energy bringing up the old, and then just let it go. We don't have to focus on it or overanalyze it. Sometimes we just feel like, for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, the feeling. It's just all getting transmuted. And then we feel much better after. So that's really good. Oh, good. Good. Well, that's great, Shane. He says, just today I've hit a point of feeling full again, and I'm going for it like a train. I love that. That's definitely the Irish lingo. Lately, I have had my friend with me, and his grandpa is right with us. As soon as we exit the house and we're, doing grocery shopping or whatever, his grandpa's right on me, wanting me to relay guidance for him. It's like they know I'm an open channel and I'm hanging out with him and it's go time. Wow. So I'm like, oh, I get a little lightheaded and I'm like, somebody's here. Somebody just entered my energy field. And then I start to channel
You know,
messages.
you know what's interesting about that, Kristen? Like after taking the mediumship course and like understanding energy a little bit better, I can think back to my childhood and like that that feeling of energy hitting my head and not knowing that it was energy. So I've been feeling it for a
Long
long
time.
time.
Whereas I wasn't feeling, I wasn't feeling much. What I was feeling was my grandpa. I knew when he was coming around because it felt really comfy and it felt like his energy, his presence. But otherwise, I was like, I was off with the fairies playing through the bush. I was just frolicking and stuff, but I really didn't feel a whole lot. I was such a high vibrational kid, though. It
Yeah.
was to the point where I annoyed other people. Sorry, sorry, not sorry. But basically put, it just came down to this is me. I just came in with this frequency. Obviously, it's needed for a reason. And
Yeah.
when I go, what's my purpose here to the angels? I remember asking that in the beginning, and they're like, "You're the way shower." I'm what? I think it's a bit of a big task and responsibility. You sure you got the right person?
Oh,
But just helping people towards guiding them towards the information or guidance that resonates with them, towards feeling better place. Uh, so how cool is that you felt that all that way, all that time?
I'm
You
just like,
just
what's
now
going
you know what that
on?
is. It's really about getting questions answered in this course, isn't it? Because all you guys, you're asking all your questions, and I was on it all the way. And then, of course, when we were practicing live, channeling guidance for you as well. It was awesome. Yeah, Shane really enjoyed that one too. Uh, yeah, yeah. It's amazing how much stuff is layered energetically from past lifetimes or stuff that we've stuffed down, and now it's got to come up. So we can make ascension easier on ourselves by just handing off the worry and the fear and all that jargon to our team. But irregardless, as we get these waves of energy penetrating us in the earth, that's when people online are calling it the event. Okay. There's going to be multiple events for the rest of our natural born lives. So when we say the event, it's actually meaning a wave of energy just came in. P.S. It'll be back in 2 weeks, and it will be the event again, and next month, and at the end of next month, and the month after that. Okay, so we don't need to make it super. Oh, it's a wave of energy coming in and helping to transmute the heaviness and helping us ascend, lift, raise in vibrational frequency, and we're all gonna get it. Love it. Great question, Jane. Do you want to see if you can channel the guidance with me on this question? Are indigos put into dysfunctional families to help them transmute familial energy?
I'm getting a big yes on that.
I'm getting a yes, but I'm getting not always.
Oh, really? Like my heart's like,
Yeah. Oh, it's a yes, but not every single indigo is going to be having this happen for that reason. Is there another reason why an indigo is put into or chooses? Let's not say put into because it's really an indigo choosing that family to incarnate into. Those souls are all chosen
I
for a
didn't
reason.
read the full question.
No, you're on the right track.
To transmute familial energy. So, like, if there's like a, does that mean like stemming from past lives together, and you're just trying to overcome that block or what have you?
I think that's part of it for some. The other thing I'm receiving is that indigos are also placed into these family dynamics in order to go through some rough or tough times. Okay. To toughen them up for the days ahead. Also, learning what it's like to be in that heavy, dense vibrational frequency in the dark, if you want to call it that. Then you're going to flip the light switch on and you're going to move towards the light and you're going to transmute it. And we're obviously strong enough and tough enough, or if you want to say high vibrational enough to handle it. And then as we move forward on our path, we will help, because as an indigo, you are a light worker. And you are, if you're guided to help other people, to have that empathy and that understanding and to be able to help others, you yourself had to walk that path too.
Yeah.
So that's the other part I'm getting of it. You choose that family dynamic for a reason, to walk through it, to come to the other side, to help others who are going through it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else on that? No. And it's all chosen. All of it is chosen.
Just remember that.
Like, what were you thinking?
I don't know, right?
Better be easier in the next one.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, though, because I'm like, why would I pick Crohn's disease? Why would I pick, family alcoholism? Why would I pick like all this stuff? It's just,
I would have picked ulcerative colitis. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. What are we, twinsies? And my family, there's a fair amount of alcoholism too, me included. But I would say more binge drinking. But irregardless, it's a different type of alcoholism. And why did we choose all of that? Why did we choose that family dynamic to be born into? There's a definite reason for that. You bet. You bet. And how long you want to hang on to stuff is entirely up to us.
Mm-hmm.
You can hang on to it and you can drum up those memories and you can, if you need to transmute them, great. But if you're kind of wallowing in it and it's not really shifting, then it's time to shift it for your own betterment, for your own highest good, for your own happiness and joy, so that you can enjoy life again, fully. Yeah, that's awesome. Emma feels like she's a completely different person than 2 years ago. I absolutely love hearing that. Yeah. Oh, yes. Jane says she's excited to hear me and Ashley talk about the rainbows, the crystals, and the indigo children, or the indigos, the crystals, and the rainbow children coming up on March 1st. Me too. That's going to be really something. Can't wait for that. Woohoo! Yeah. Shane, I love that. There's a point where we learn and be grateful for it, and then it's time to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. But that is that lifetime within my lifetime, and now I'm in this lifetime right here in this present moment of now, and I'm a different person than I was then. And these things, just like mistakes, if you want to call them, sometimes you make mistakes in life. They're meant to learn and grow from. This is a beautiful thing. But the angels never see things as mistakes or right or wrong. This is completely an open playing field. It's a free will zone. Mm-hmm. Phyllis wonders why she chose to be the youngest in her family group. And yeah, and then, well, I think that's a free will choice there as far as you being in charge. And it's also about you having the brightest light, Phyllis. Stepping forward. Oh yeah, here it comes in. When you are empathic, which you very much are, you're open to the energy, very sensitive to the energy around you. And you see the sink ship, you see the ship sinking with a lot of people. It's heavier in frequency. Woe is me. Life is hard. Maybe they're just heavier in frequency. So you want to reach out to help them. But in turn, what happens is you start to sink too. So it's really important to take really good care of yourself first and then give what you can to help others. Or they're saying also if you're being pulled to help others briefly, temporarily, and then back to taking care of yourself. Yeah. Well said. Boy, everybody's got so many comments here. Lotta says, I think it was easier to deal with when I understood that I had chosen them. Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. And so, in knowing that, you can kind of free yourself and let go. And you can decide, okay, that was then and this is now. And thank God for that. Thank God for that. Yeah. That's why another thing that I think we should really practice in this next course in March is not just channeling our guardian angels, for those of you who have taken the course before, but also channeling your higher self, because it's completely different. You guys can start practicing that before we start in March. And it's a completely different energy. You can usually do it for, I would say, up to 20 minutes, but I wouldn't go any longer because you will drain your battery. Oh, you bet. It's so expansive and high vibrational. It's just amazing. And you'll feel a lot of pressure on the top of your head, and then it will come through and communicate through you. It's just wonderful. The guidance is amazing. Oh, love it. Thank you, Jane. Put the link up there for everybody. So I'm super pumped and excited to open and expand further with you guys. Everybody's like really chatting here in the discussion.
Yeah, they are. That's awesome.
So thank you for coming live with me and talking about our spiritual awakenings, but also different kinds of spiritual awakenings and at different paces. And sometimes you need to kind of take a break in the midst of awakening for the rest of our natural born lives.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, you guys, we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye.